everyone. Nice to be with you again. Now we will learn about causative verbs. What is causative verbs? They are the verbs that we will use when we want to express that the subject caused someone else to do something. I repeat, the subject caused someone else to do something. Okay, there are many, but I want to tell about make, have, get, and let because they are commonly used. We have active causative and passive causative. Let's talk about active causative verbs. Okay, we have this structure: subject plus make, object plus the base form or verb 1 plus object. I use make here. Cyclops will make a couple thugs block your way to collect money. Make, this is the subject, will make, object, a couple thugs, the base form block or verb 1, your way as the object, your way to collect money. We can use this predicate or the verb make into another tense. You can have simple past, you can have present continuous, you can have with auxiliary, it's up to you. So, this sentence actually has the same meaning as Cyclops will instruct a couple thugs to block your way to collect money. It is a kind of instruction or a command. So you can have this, the meaning can be instruct, or you can have Cyclops will command, or Cyclops will force a couple thugs to block your way to collect money. To block. When we use the causative verbs, let's see this structure: no, to, or this is the base forms. But when we use instruct or command, you must have to here. So it is with to infinitive. Okay, next. Now we have the verbs have, object, again the base form. You should have across marked areas of interest. This is the base form. The meaning of have is the same as ask. Ask, of course, we need to here, to infinitive. You can have request or you can have beg. They are the same. So I repeat, the meaning of have here is a request. The next, we have let here, let, object, and the base form. So, Booby doesn't let Icarus kill the dazed thugs. This is the same. This is the same as Booby doesn't allow Icarus to kill the dazed thugs. Remember again that when we use another verb instead of the causative verb, you have to here. We can have permit Icarus to kill. So the meaning of let here is permission or allowance. Still, we have one more. We have get, object, but be careful, we have to here. Make, have, and let, we don't need to, or they have the base form after the object. But it is exception. When we use get, we use to, verb 1 or the base form. So to infinitive, to infinitive. Careful with that. Just remember that. Okay. So Marcos got the knight to choose the horse in his stall. To choose. This is the same as Marcus persuaded the knight to choose the horse in his stall. So the same, we have two infinitive here. Okay, so now we come to passive causative. Passive causative with this structure. Subject, together have plus object, verb to be or past participle, and then by doer. I put it in bracket here because this is optional. You can do it, you can use it or not. It depends on the subjects here later. From the active causative, not all the verbs make, have, let, and get are used in passive causative. People commonly have get and have in passive causative. Okay, I want to show you how to make active causative into passive causative. But I also want to show you that this sentence, you should have equals marked areas of interest, can be changed both in passive causative and passive voice. Okay, I will show you. We will change this into passive voice first. So, remember, you should have Icarus. This is your concentration. Focus on this sentence. You should have Icarus. Okay? Then we put Icarus. This is the subject, this is the predicate and object. So put the object here. And then don't forget that passive, we need to have past participle with to be. So to be plus past participle should be had in this construction. Actually, you put here by you, but because this is active causative, we will put the doer at the end. So now we just put here mark areas of interest. But why there is two here? When it is active causative, you have the base form here. But when you have to change this into passive voice, you need to connect two verbs here, had and mark. So you need two here. So the sentence will be passive voice, Icarus should be had to mark areas of interest by you. I put it here in bracket, almost the same as this, because it is optional. If the subject is pronoun, you don't need to write here because it is considered that it is not necessary to show the doer. But if the subject is noun, I recommend you to write here. Okay, now we will change this active causative into passive causative. As I told you before, that causative, whether it is active or passive, has the same meaning. They have the same meaning, meaning that the subject asks someone else or commands someone else to do something. So the subject must be the same. That's why you should have, the subject and the predicate is the same. You just rewrite you and, the subject and the predicate. Rewrite this. And then now your focus is on this. Icarus mark areas of interest. This is the subject of this verb. And this is the object. So the way is the same when you change the sentence into passive voice. But the focus is different. This is the subject. That's why we put it here. So we will have areas of interest here. And then we put mark here, but it should be in verb 3 or past participle. We don't need to be here because it is not the predicate. It is not the main verb. This is the main verb. That's why we need to be. And you must be careful when you have to change into passive voice. What I mean here, be careful with the tenses because the form of to be will be different from one tense to another tense. But if you just change the active causative into passive causative, you just change the verb or the base form of the verb into past participle. And then we have Icarus here as the doer by Icarus. Okay, so the passive causative will be you should have areas of interest marked by Icarus. I hope you understand about how to change this. Okay, let me give you one more example. Yeah, I will use Marcos got the knight to choose the horse in his stall. Again, so we will change this into passive voice first. So the knight, you put it here. Yeah, and then because this is simple past, this is verb 2, we need the to be was. This shows simple past. Was got. You can have got or you can have gotten. The same meaning, the same form. Okay, and then put this to choose the horse in his stall. In his stall. The knight was got to choose the horse in his stall. His stall here, of course, this will be Marcos. Yeah, you can put here by Marcos. So the sentence of passive voice will be the knight was gotten to choose the horse in Marcos' stall. Why I change his stall into Marcos here? In order that you will not be confused his here, because Marcos and the knight maybe in the can be in the same pronoun. So if I use his here, his stall, the reader will be confused. Does it refers to Marcos or the knight? That's why I changed this Marcos stall. But if you put by Marcos, you can still use his stall. So the knight was gotten to choose the horse in his stall by Marcos. But I think it's better that you have this sentence. Okay, it is more meaningful. Then again, we will change this into passive causative. Just rewrite this. Marcos got, then the horse in his stall. The horse in his stall. This is the object of the verb choose. Put it here and then change this into past participle chosen, and then you write by the knight. Don't forget to write by here because this is the doer. If you forget to write by, the sentence will be confusing. So the passive causative, Marcos got the horse in his stall chosen by the knight. Do you understand? Okay, I hope so. So I want to summarize what I have explained. Causative verbs can be can be expressed in many structures of sentences. So I want to show you that when you want to express the subject, ask someone or command someone to do something or cause someone else to do something, you can have some sentences, some structures, some sentences with different structure. So I want to show this now. The boss has asked tourists to ignore the nice request. Ask tourists to ignore or request tourists to ignore. Then we change this into passive voice. Tourist has been asked to ignore by the boss. It's okay. And then we change this into active causative. The boss has had tourists ignore the nice request. Now we change this, the active causative, into passive voice, as I told you before in the previous slide. Tourist has been had to ignore the nice request. So this is the passive voice of this sentence. This is the passive voice of this sentence. Now we can change this active causative into passive causative. The boss has had the nice request ignored by tourists. So we have 5 sentences with different structures but have the same meaning. So all of these sentences show that the subject caused someone else to do something. I want to show this. I hope that you can practice this. It will be very useful when you want to write an essay. You want to show that the subject caused someone to do something. In order that your writing will not be boring, you can use this kind of sentences. These are the variation. Okay, the variation of how we express the subject caused someone to do something. Okay, I want to show you again the other. How about if we have the passive causative? Can we change it into active causative? Of course. So the commander got the side mission completed before another quest. How can we know that this is passive causative? You just see from this. Completed. This is past participle. Active causative, you need the base form. But passive causative, it is in the form of past participle. Okay, how about now make it or change it into active causative? As I told you before, you just rewrite the subject and the verb. The commander got. And then we have this completed past participle become to complete here. Because we have got here, of course, we need to infinitive or the base form with to. But if you have this made or you have had, what I mean, surely you will have this only the base form without to. Yeah, remember about it. Then this is actually the object of complete, so we put it here. The side mission, we put it here. And then we just add with this before another quest. So why there is space here? Yes, because we need the subject of this verb. In many passive sentences, whether it is passive causative or passive voice, we often find that there is no doer or by plus agent. So don't be confused. Although they are very important because they will become the subject. never use the word in this sentence into the active. For example, you use another quest and then you put it here. Never. Yeah? But to make you easier, just put the doer here, by the night here. Yeah? By the night here. Then put it here. So the night is the subject of this to complete. So again, never use any word from this sentence into the subject here. Never. So you must think which one that is suitable to be the subject of this verb. Just think. Okay, so to make it easy, as I told you before, you just put by doer yourself here. So the sentence is, the commander got the night to complete the side mission before another quest. As I told you before, that we can use got here, or we can have made. The commander made the night complete. Just remember that if you want to have made, you must omit to. So complete only the base form. So here how to change the passive causative into active causative. I hope that you can understand this, and my explanation will be useful for your understanding about active causative and passive causative. Thank you for learning with me, and thank you for watching. Goodbye.